So why do basically need this PCCI? Actually, I'm gonna keep this presentation short but effective, I'm sure, and you'll find this one very effective. So why we need this PCI? So basically, if we do all the transaction, we all do transaction on a daily basis to avoid the scamming to go being scammed. That's why we use this. And PCCI majorly used for the if we accept money from someone and through payments card. So the payment card machine should be comply with the PCI and DSS, and it is mandatory nowadays. As I guess you all are familiar with ATM card, and you should, I guess you all have one. But let me show some uh, details about it. As I guess ATM card details are visible.
Yes.
Okay. So if I talk about here left topmost, it's a chip. It's a magnetic chips that we are getting nowadays, and underneath there is a PAN card. But actually, it's a card, your card number that is of a 16 digit, and then card holder name, and then the CID number and the expiration date. And if I talk about the left one, there is a magnetic strip that is being used if you are doing a transaction, whether you're even though nowadays we are getting Wi-Fi is touch system. Basically, it's they embedded a chip over there in a card, and you have to just touch your card and you can do a transaction, but up to a certain threshold. Actually, uh, they turn it to be I guess 2000. Under 2000 you just have to touch your uh, card and you can do a transaction, but after 2000 you have to follow the all the norms and all the details that are required to proceed transaction. And so I'm going to talk about some of the process that you have to keep in your mind when we are actually performing a transaction online, whether it's online or you are doing by on your own. So first check whether a credit card or your card is signed or not, and the expiration has passed or not, and all the things. And let me dive a little bit deep. So these are the PCI DSS requirements that are required. So on the left side, here are the goals, and on the left side, if I talk about the requirements, if you are willing to build a machine secure network and system, you have to maintain a secure firewall with configuration that protect cardholder data and all the credentials that are private. And secondly, do not use a vendor supply default passwords and other security parameters. Like that's why nowadays most of the bank most of the bank tell us to change your security and card number after being used by first time. And further moving on, the second one, it is protect card holder data. So it's a quite really interesting because as we all know, we are familiar that nowadays I guess a tech-savvy person easily scam you by your credit card, or even skim your credit card details by just simply passing through a machine. And we are going to discuss about skimming in details in further upcoming slides. But here are what we can do. What we can do to if we are doing a transaction, ensure that we are plugging our card in a proper and a safe ATM and all the things. And although lots of banks, I guess not lots of, all of banks are providing now a management program. It's a management program actually. that require two FA, and so if suppose if I create a scenario, if somehow I lost my credit card, if whether I am going to a college or if I'm trying traveling in a bus, or someone just stole my credit card, so we have to put our 2FA on our card system. If someone trying to withdraw some money from our credit card, then we get the message, and it's much needed nowadays. And although bank also providing lots of facilities nowadays, they verify, they cross verify. Even if you are doing a transaction about 5,000, they just send out you OTP for the verification if it's really you or someone else who are trying to log in, or the other things. And further moving, next one is implement a strong access control measure. Restrict the access to the cardholder data by business to need know. Means don't just send out your data, credit card on the website that ask you for your credit card info. If I talk about, if I let's dive in a scenario, as I guess if we check out on a new website, like nowadays lots of websites are created by lots of developer, and we all are in a technology era, and many apps are developed nowadays because of the demand. And most of them, if you are doing a transaction, or if you, even if you are uh, ordering something, they require your credit card detail. So put your credit card detail if it's mandatory or necessary. To prevent this thing, we can create a virtual credit card, and it's a secure way. Honestly, I am most of on most of website I use my virtual credit card, and it's a simple steps process you all can create in a few, I guess, in 10 minutes, and it's really easy. And regularly monitor your credit card details, transaction, whether you are doing or not doing, what are the charges that are cutting nowadays, and all the things. And keep update with your information security policies of the person. And further dive in the topics, here are the some points that you have to keep in your mind. Periodically inspect all the credit card that's for tampering or substitution, and never allow physical access to someone else who are just asking for your credit card, even to your friend, I would say. And be aware of suspicious behavior. I'm going to talk about a suspicious behavior here. If we all are living in India, and here people love to watch out you from your bank. If you are doing a transaction, I don't know why this thing happened here, but I in saw this thing many times, and they just look out your credit card details, even the PIN number, and they somehow skim your device. I So that's why we have to be aware from this. So as I mentioned about that, we are going to dive deep in the uh, further tampering and skimming substitution. So these are the things that we have to keep in mind. Regularly check your altering or tampering. If number do not match, do not replace your card or machine even, and be aware of the points that are inside your device. If you are if even if you are in MACD and buying some burgers and all and having your meal, someone just can steal your credit card details by just by the payment you that made on your MACD. So look out for the devices very carefully and all. And here, if you can see, let me zoom it a little bit. It's a skimming device. It's quite popular in uh, skimming word. If you know about it, they we can create as many as card you want of a single credit card, but just skimming and writing down on the other card. So it's quite easy. It's pretty easy to skim your credit card. in just a few of seconds. And these are the some prevention that we can use and to prevent ourselves to be being fraud and to uh, being scammed. Never allow credit card terminal without supervising and approval. And verify if you are give some credit card details to other third party. Claiming that it's for repair, and actually we got lots of scamming calls nowadays that your credit card is on hold because of the issue, and they just ask RTO permission and all the credit card details, and people give them details because people are not aware in India. That's why they give all the things, and be aware of suspicious behavior around devices. I already mentioned this point in the about slides. So that's all. I guess you find it quite beneficial. Thank you.